Welcome to the Gemini full moon on December 17th, solstice and Venus retrograde. This is a wonderful energy, a wonderful full moon. And you can read all about my reports at my blog here. If you go to my blog, you can read all about what I'm talking about today. So the Gemini full moon is a wonderful energy. There isn't any challenging aspects to this full moon, which is great for all of us, especially the Geminis, because this is your full moon you get once a year, and also the Saggies, because this is the full moon highlighting your period, your cycle of the year, when we're all focused on you. So you, Saggies, got a fabulous new moon, and now you're getting a juicy good full moon. Yay! Okay, so we're in this cycle of Sagittarius, and Sagittarius rules the area of life that has to do with higher mind, higher consciousness, spirituality, what God is to you. Somebody wrote me and said, when you speak of God, are you speaking of Jesus? I'm speaking of source, spirit, energy, the force. It's not a man-made aspect. It's not something that religion has defined. Although religion can define it, what I'm speaking of is consciousness. And for atheists, it would be reasoning, because people that don't believe in God, but they believe in common sense and reason and integrity and honor, that would be what I would consider source or spirit for them. So Sagittarius rules that area of life that you consider is creator for you, source for you, divine for you. And Sagittarius rules expansion of consciousness. It is ruled by Jupiter, which rules abundance and opportunity and expansion and joy and upliftment and inspiration. It's a fire sign. So it's the time of year that we get to be on fire and go for what we want and celebrate life, celebrate what's working in your life. Now, Gemini is the opposite of Sagittarius. Gemini rules the area of your life that has to do with the lower mind, the conscious mind. Only 10%, if we even use that, is of our conscious mind. The other part is subconscious and unconscious or superconscious. That's Sag. So we're in the area of the mind as well. And Gemini rules the area of life that has to do with your communication skills. It has to do with your style of speaking and listening. It has to do with your intellect and perception, your thought patterns and habits. Speaking, writing, teaching, social media. Sagittarius takes that and expands it all over the world, all over the universe. So we're in the cycle now where you can use communication to expand your presence in the world, expand your networking in the world, expand whatever it is you stand for, whatever it is you write about, speak about, teach about, sing about, cook about. Share it with the world, says Sagittarius. And the Gemini full moon is like Santa Claus. It's like, yeah, share it with the world. Let's celebrate. Now, it's really interesting with the Gemini full moon, because Mercury, which is Gemini's ruling planet, is sitting next to the moon. It's sitting next to the sun in Sagittarius, opposing the moon. And so we're all going to have the gift of gab now, especially at the full moon. And especially those of us that like to talk. We are going to find ourselves just busy talking. And if you're a good listener, you may be standing next to someone who is talking your ear off. Well, if that's the worst thing that can happen to us at the full moon, bring it on, because I think that's funny and fun and enjoyable. So this is a wonderful full moon. It is a respite from all the intense striving and growth we've had to do in 2013. It is a moment for you to step back and go, what can I celebrate in my life? What can I celebrate about what I've accomplished in 2013? How about all of the growth? How about all of the striving that we've had to do to get through these intense cycles? How about just taking a moment and pause? Breathe deeply. And celebrate yourself. Celebrate you. Celebrate even the tiniest of victories you've accomplished. The more you celebrate, the more you put out positive energy, it circles the earth and it comes back to you in new opportunities, new adventures, new relationships, better relationships, more money, more abundance, better health. It does improve your health. Having a positive attitude. Attitude is everything. We're in the cycle of Gemini and Sag. It's all about the power of the mind to heal the body, to strengthen the body, strengthen the spirit, the mind-body-spirit connection. So we can use this energy to uplift ourselves and empower ourselves and bring in more of what we want in 2014 through our attitude of gratitude, through our attitude of appreciation. Now, right after the full moon, just a few hours after the full moon, Uranus moves direct. And this is good because Uranus has been retrograde for 5 months. And now with Uranus moving direct in the sign of Aries, the power of the individual, we are now going to see more people stepping up and standing up for what is right for them. And this is how we make change in the world. Sometimes it doesn't come easy. Sometimes we have to protest. Sometimes we have to march in the streets, like is going on in many countries, but of course it's blacked out here in America. Although Al Jazeera is doing a pretty good job. This new Al Jazeera station we have here in America, bringing in more news from around the world. And Americans, we really need that because we're so cut off by the mainstream CNN and MSNBC, CBS, and the others, not bringing us the news of what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Turkey, what's going on in Thailand. There's a lot of protests going on in other countries. People are standing up to the power elite and they're saying, we want our governments to work for us. And that's where we're going. And we're going to see more of that in 2014. And it's appropriate because unless we speak up for what is rightfully ours and what we need to have, our sovereign rights, our right to health, our right to education, our right to housing, our right to shelter, the basic needs of the individual and families, unless we fight for those, they're not going to change, right? Because they got everything and they're keeping everything for themselves. They're not going to give it up, right? Those in power is they. And so I don't want to go off on a big tangent right now because I want to really enjoy this Gemini full moon. But we are going to see a continuation in 2014 of more and more people awakening. And that's another thing too. The energy is increasing. And on Solstice, December 21st, when the sun enters Capricorn, another vortex of energy is going to open up. And you can read about that on my website, on my blog. And so more light is coming in, is waking people up going, wait a minute, why am I not getting, a minimum wage? Why am I not getting, my basic needs met? Why are CEOs making, hundreds of millions of dollars, but they can't increase the wage level of the workers? Aren't we all part of this, helping them get rich? Okay, and so this is what's happening. And we can do this peacefully. We can protest peacefully. But we do have to take the power back. Now, on Solstice, as we have this great awakening coming in, and the Ascended Masters are using the full moon and the new moon, and they're using all of the astrology to wake us up and go, wait a minute, let's create balance here. After all, Mars just entered Libra, and Libra is about fairness and justice and balance for all, not just the few, but for everyone. And so, after all, he did say, I came to give life and that more abundantly. Everyone is intended to have the abundant life and at least the opportunity to create that for themselves if they're willing to work hard, get educated, and follow the steps necessary to be a success. But we want to create the channels to give people the opportunity to do that. And this energy is here to help us do it. That's why I see Pluto and Uranus as a force for good in our lives. Because Pluto and Uranus are clashing, and now Uranus is direct. So Pluto's going to get a run for his money now that Uranus is direct. Yes, Uranus is wild and crazy, and Uranus brings sudden opportunities. And Uranus is bringing sudden opportunities but it can come from people you least expected. It can come from an area you didn't expect. You know, you could be over here stirring the pot, doing all your networking over here, but something juicy good comes in from over here, and you're like, wow, I wasn't even over on that side of town. You know, that's how the universe works. And so if you're promoting yourself and you're always, you know, giving your best to what you do, the universe is going to reward you. And the Mars in Libra, who is actually the ambassador to Uranus, because Uranus is in Aries, which is ruled by Mars, so Mars is carrying out the will of Uranus. And Uranus wants to free the people. Uranus wants to liberate us so that we are creating balance and working in harmony with the environment, working in harmony with the planet, bringing peace as the solution to our conflict, eliminating war, and that will take new leadership, and leadership that actually represents the people. And that's what is in store for us in 2014, 2015, as Pluto and Uranus continue to dance with each other. Now, Venus moves retrograde on solstice. Just a few hours after solstice, Venus decides to go in reverse. Now, this is a good thing because planets can't always be moving forward. Here we go, we're always moving forward. No, we have to take time to go back and finish things we haven't finished. And so with Venus in reverse, this is the opportunity to go back and finish unfinished projects, creative endeavors, or this can bring in a relationship from the past, even past lives. It can bring in someone from your past that is time for you to connect with or reconnect with. Venus retrograde is fabulous for reunions. And this is good for the holidays because we can get together with family and friends and we can reunite. Venus retrograde is awesome for going over your financial strategies, looking at your financial picture. What changes do you need to make? How can you increase your cash flow? How can you increase income and lower expenses? This is the time to evaluate it. Venus will be retrograde until January 31st. Then on December 4th, Christmas Eve, Mercury enters Capricorn. Now this is really cool because Mercury is flying now. Mercury is really moving. He is shaking it up because he was in Scorpio forever, it felt like. And then he flew into Sagittarius and he was only there for 3 weeks and now he's jumping into Capricorn. So Mercury in Capricorn is excellent for business strategy. Mercury in Capricorn lasers you in on what do I need to do to get here? What are my action steps to get here? How can I actualize my vision? Sagittarius. My dreams? Sagittarius. Mercury in Capricorn can help you do that. Now Mercury in Capricorn can also point out where you're being silly or foolish. You know, like, I'm going to be a millionaire. I'm going to win the lottery. Maybe you will, but most likely you will not. And so Mercury in Capricorn will be happy to point that out to you. And so Mercury is flying through Capricorn now, and the Sun is in Capricorn. And then on December 30th, the Sun and Mars, the Sun in Capricorn, Mars in Libra, square Uranus. So Mars is opposing Uranus and the Sun is squaring them both. So we got a T-square. T-square. I'll spare you of the singing. And so this is really intense energy. And, you know, we're going into the new year with intense energy because Mercury then conjuncts Pluto and squares Mars on December 31st. So now we've got the grand square activated. We have Uranus direct. We have Pluto in Capricorn direct. We have Mars in Libra. And we have the Sun and the Moon moving up and Mercury forming with Pluto. And Jupiter's over here in Cancer. So that's 4 squares and 2 oppositions. And the Sun is involved, Mercury is involved, and then so New Year's Eve is going to be super intense. So you know, the minute the Sun jumps into Capricorn, it's going to really start to get intense. And the last 10 days of December and going into the new year, the grand square is activated. That's why it's really important to take this time now with the Gemini full moon and celebrate your life. Rest, recharge your batteries, rejoice in all you've accomplished. Get ready for action as we move into the Capricorn energy. And I see the Capricorn new moon as giving birth to the new consciousness. This is really what's happening here. It's a transformation in consciousness. It's an evolution in consciousness. It's an expansion of consciousness where we are saying, well, why not clean up the environment? Well, why not resolve our problems peacefully rather than through war? Well, why not use the government and systems already in place to empower the people and raise up the middle class and restore the middle class to its health and vibrancy? And that's really what this energy is about. Now, I do go into detail what it means for you personally if you go into the December readings. And then, of course, I will have the January readings out really soon, followed by the fabulous Capricorn new moon, which is new starts for you, depending on where Capricorn takes place in your natal birth chart. But this is a wonderful month. It's very different because on the one hand, we've got the Gemini full moon, let's party! With Sagittarius, take it wide, take it far, yay! And then we move into Capricorn, which is sober and serious and practical, and where all the action is really taking place. And so then it's as if we've got to step it up again, but step up our consciousness, be open to change, be flexible, be adaptable. I'll talk more about this when we get to the Capricorn new moon. But I see this as a birth of the new consciousness, and that we are giving birth to. We are giving birth to the new us, the new you, the new me, the new planet, the new earth, the new consciousness. And it's exciting. And it's good what's happening because people are waking up and they're taking their power back and they're questioning the rules. They're questioning their rights. And that's what brings change in. Positive, good change for everyone. So happy holidays and much love and blessings.